you guys ever wondered, what if evolution is not true? You know, some people, when I ask that, their brain just shuts off. It goes, la la la, can't hear. I'd plug my other ear, but my other hand is kind of occupied. But they just, they plug their ears, they close their eyes, and they go, evolution's true, evolution's true, evolution's true, and they refuse to think outside their little box. Evolution's not true. What are the implications of that? Going back to what I said before, they will not entertain the idea that what they're saying is not true because the alternative, which is God created the heavens and earth, scares them too much. And I'm going to show you that what you believe is not only wrong, but that what I'm saying is right. So let's get right into this, starting from the beginning. Charles Darwin went upon the Bugle on the high seas, and he went to the Galapagos Islands, and what did he see there but a bunch of finches? And those finches, he noted, had a whole bunch of different beak sizes. These are called Darwin's finches. You can look them up. So Darwin looked at a whole bunch of finches, and you know what he said? He looked at them and he said, this is amazing. All these finches must share a common ancestor, but they show distinct qualities in their beaks. Each one has a different sized beak. So, for whatever reason, Charles Darwin stipulated that because these finches have different sized beaks, that the bananas and the birds must be interrelated and have a common ancestor. If I see a bunch of birds with different sized beaks, it reminds me of a different arm size of someone's siblings. Do you have any brothers or sisters? I bet you're probably taller or shorter than them. If you compare your arm size, you might have a different sized arm. So, does that prove that you evolved from an earthworm? No. All that proves is that when people breed, or when animals breed, their offspring come in all shapes and sizes. God designed life with the ability to create offspring with varying sizes. Evolutionists like to say, this is a purely scientific theory, there is no philosophical ramifications to it, it is not a philosophy. If you believe in evolution, you do not believe that life was created with a purpose or a design by something that created it with a purpose or design or a reason for its existence. If an evolutionist wants to live a total life of debauchery and immorality, of murder, of thievery, of blasphemy, of whatever they want, they can justify it because in the evolutionary worldview, there are no moral absolutes. You know, if life indeed is the result of the laws of physics without design or purpose or reason, then life has the value of an inanimate object. Just as I can break this CD and no one would shed a tear, I could actually walk around with a sledgehammer and break people's skulls, and if evolution were true, there would be nothing morally wrong about that, because life is as valueless as an inanimate object. The Bible mentions dinosaurs many, many times, which would be impossible if dinosaurs were not contemporary of men. The Bible says God created the dinosaurs in the beginning and that they largely went extinct during a worldwide flood about 4,400 years ago. You guys ever heard the story of Noah's Ark? And that's why we find dinosaurs buried in the mud as fossils with their entire skeleton structures intact, because there was a worldwide flood, which is how they ended up buried in the ground. You know, there are things that they say in these textbooks. They use examples that have been disproven for over 100 years, but they've never replaced them because they don't like the alternative. There is an enormous creationist movement now. The simplest life is more complex than a space shuttle or the camera that I'm using. It has intricate parts, and they're all working together, and they're all placed within any given organism or cell in a specific way as to work together in order to function. So not only would the parts themselves have to form by themselves, they would also have to assemble in their correct assembly and functionality in order to work, which is absolutely impossible without an intelligent designer.